What's up, everyone? Prague here, and this is my rankings for uh, My Hero Academia characters. So it's going to be A tier. Really interesting character, sort of morally gray, but not really. But I really like a lot of the League of Villains characters for that reason. Is they're likable, despite being villains. They're really likable, and they have a lot of like moral ambiguity, and sometimes you're rooting for them, sometimes you're not, which I really like. That's really like unique to the story. Um, and also a lot of them are just interesting. And on the topic of interesting, a lot of these characters, like through this whole thing, are just not interesting to me. Um, I think this show suffers from a problem of having way too many characters that they try to characterize, and in doing so, they like fail to characterize them. I just don't care about any of these characters. This guy has some kind of interesting stuff going on, but he's kind of tropey. This guy might later, just like the dynamic of the class rivalry and how he's like the authority figure for class B. This is fan service. This is don't care. This guy's kind of interesting, like just as a character. I don't know if they're gonna try to do one of those like offhand characterization things, but I think he's like fine as like being a minor character, being just an interesting minor character. Fan service. Gran Torino is just he's all right. I think he like serves his purpose in the story. He's not like insanely interesting or anything, but I don't mind him. This guy I don't care. Endeavor is definitely up here. Maybe even S tier, but I have yet to see like where they take him. But he just has like one of the best arcs of the few characters that really have arcs that are like meaningful. He's very morally complex, which I love obviously, and so yeah, he's gonna be A tier. Hawks, I don't buy it. Himiko Toga is up there, same reason. I just really like the League of Villains characters. They're the most interesting in my opinion. Nothing going on. I just Ingenium or whatever, or Tenya's brother. Like the problem with him is I didn't really buy the Tenya arc, the whole arc with him and his brother. I just thought it was kind of tropey and stale. Um, at least the Ida part of it. So yeah, I'm just gonna put him at D tier because yeah, I think it's gonna make sense with where I'm gonna put other stuff. Um, I didn't care about the like I forget what they're called, the Pussycats. I don't care. Not interesting. Kind of interesting, but also kind of tropey. Not interesting. They tried with Kirishima, but I just don't care. Uh, we'll get to that. Um, not interesting. Not interesting. Kind of interesting. This is also kind of have to wait until we get to Stain. Not interesting. Not interesting. Cool. Not interesting. All Might definitely has to be S tier. Um, he's just like this is like what the whole story is built around, right? He's the guy that gives the intrigue to the entire story of My Hero Academia. Um, just a super cool character. Uh, you like him a lot. Like I think they definitely tried to make him your favorite character. And again, I have an aversion in a lot of things to the character that's sort of thrust upon you as the likable one. But All Might's just a great character, very complex. I love All Might. Not interesting. Not interesting. Deku's mom is alright. I think she kind of serves her purpose. Not interesting. Best Jeanist is also alright, I think. So is this guy, even though he's kind of filler. I like he's like morally gray or whatever, kind of. Um, but he's not as high as these characters because he's a filler character. Nobody cares. This guy's cool. I like how he like looks like a villain or whatever, and yeah. I mean that's kind of the same thing as there's another guy that kind of has the same thing, but I do like that dynamic of like looking like a villain, but this guy like but being a hero. I like that dynamic. It's pretty unique. Same with Black Hole. I think he actually like he's the best at sort of emphasizing that because he has that whole thing where he's like my power is like super dangerous and would be really good for evil, but I try to use it for good. That's also really unique. And so I have to put all these three guys. And I generally find like the teachers of UA more interesting than the students. I'm not interested in a lot of the students, and the teachers are tend to be more interesting. Um, Ida, again, I didn't buy. The reason I put Ingenium here is that his name, Ingenium? Um, it's because I didn't buy that arc, but I do buy the arc of like when Ida is like class president or whatever, and he has to kind of like learn to be a leader. That part I did like, so I'm gonna keep Tenya at C tier here. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Um, A tier. Also very morally gray, very cool. Has like a cool philosophy. Um, D tier. We'll get to that again. Same with this. Um, Shoji is cool. He's a cool design. He's an interesting character. They haven't really gone in depth with the characterization, but I'm really hoping that they do and they do it well. He's definitely one of the more interesting characters in uh, Class A. It doesn't really look right to have him on the same tier as Koda or Koji or whatever his name is. Yeah, Koji Koda. Um, yeah, I might have to mess with that a little bit. Night Eye's B tier is pretty interesting. Nobody cares about you. Nobody cares about you. Nobody cares about you. Nobody cares about you. Here we go. S tier. Absolutely. Bakugo is by far, I think, the most complex character and the most interesting character. Super unique to My Hero Academia. Really interesting. He has arcs. Is a very slow arc that's very fleshed out, which I like. Um, yeah, Bakugo's got to be up there along with All Might. This guy is just like really tropey. Sorry, I don't care. This guy's kind of a cool design. Actually, I put this guy up here just because he had a cool design. I'll put this guy. Um, Nobody cares. I hate Present Mike. Actually, I need to make a new tier. F minus. Oh, I did the wrong thing. F minus and Present Mike's gonna be there. Um, Bakugo's mom. No, who cares? Who cares? Who cares? Who cares? F minus. Uraraka, I actually think I buy her arc. I buy her like characterization. I think it's pretty interesting. It's pretty unique. There's a lot of like room to grow. I really like the whole thing with her um, fighting Bakugo because I think it subverts tropes, which I hate. That's my one of my biggest problems with manga and anime is the tropes. I think that whole fight scene subverts tropes, and it's really interesting uh, for both Bakugo and Uraraka. Like that has, I think that's one of my favorite like scenes. Um, yeah, I think Uraraka's characterization has been superior to basically and can be superior to basically anyone in Class A or any of the student characters that I just don't find interesting. I hate Dabi. I just hate him. Nobody cares. Stain, here we go. I think he's got to be A tier, maybe even S tier. Yeah, I'll keep him A tier. Um, he's a beast. He's got a very unique philosophy that's very interesting. Um, very unique to My Hero Academia. Again, I mean, I kind of sound like a broken record, but those are the characters that I like, right? The characters that subvert the tropes or that I really want to follow. The villains that are likable. I mean, Stain isn't really likable in the same sense as Twice, uh, Himiko and Mr. Compress, but he kind of has a point, right? Like you listen to him and he kind of has a point, which I think is very cool. Um, Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Shigaraki is just so frustrating. I think the author listened to people's complaints that he's just really stale, and he tries to characterize him, but it doesn't work. None of it's worked thus far, at least. Um, yeah, I don't know. Nobody cares. I didn't buy it. Um, well, you're all right, I guess. Uh, this guy's pretty interesting. Like he's kind of the same deal as these guys, but there's just not as much on him. Um, C tier, I think, for this guy. I find his like thing where he thinks like UA is elitist or something. I think that's him. Um, or something. I don't know. He's just has some interesting relationships. He's kind of tropey sometimes, I think, but like, yeah, he's all right. This guy, um, I need to see more about this guy. I don't care. This guy, I don't care about any of the. I didn't find any of the like Yakuza guys interesting or the Expendable 8 or whatever they're called. Except for this guy. I liked this guy. Just because it's kind of the same deal of why I like Victorian Greyjoy so much in A Song of Ice and Fire. Like he's just a beast, and he just thrives for like the combat. I don't know. I have a soft spot for characters like that, and that kind of adds like moral ambiguity to him, right? Like he doesn't really care about overhaul or anything. He just wants a good fight, which I like. This character is okay. I don't know if I would put her D tier or C tier. Um, yeah, she's all right, I guess. Yeah. There was something I said I was gonna address. What was it? What was it? I thought it had something to do with like class B. I shouldn't have just like left that for later. Um, I don't know. I'll leave it at C tier for now. This guy's nobody cares. Mirio, I never bought Mirio. Um, I don't know. I don't know. Jiro, I don't care. Fat Gum, I don't care. I don't care about you. I don't care about you. Not interesting. Not interesting. Not interesting. Not interesting. Tokiyami is a cool design. Um, it's kind of the same case as where is he? Shoji. Um, where like oh right, it was Koji Koda. Yeah, I'll bump Koji Koda down. He's somewhat interesting, but there's just not enough. Um, yeah, but Tokiyami is a very cool design, and I think there could be really cool characterization with him. I really like the scene with him and Shoji, where they're in the forest. That might also be one of my favorite scenes. And so I can't stress enough, like Shoji and Tokiyami definitely have the ability to move up on this list. And honestly, let's put her here. She's somewhat interesting. Um, nobody cares. Aizawa's gonna be B tier, I think. Um, he's just interesting. Again, I like the teachers a lot more than the students. Um, this guy is just, eh. Um, yeah. This guy they actually managed to characterize, and I bought it. Like, I buy this guy's characterization. Um, yeah, he's alright. But he's also kind of tropey, like annoying. I don't know. Would I put him? No, I guess I'll put him C tier. Yeah, he's alright. Overhaul, I just never bought. I'm sorry. It's a little bit melodramatic for me. Um, Todoroki, he's just very tropey. I don't buy it. Um, nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Kurogiri's alright. He's pretty cool. he's not really like complex or anything, but well, there's like the theory that he is the detective. That detective dude is definitely like the spy or whatever. But yeah, Kurogiri's all right, pretty interesting. Magni just not enough. Like I didn't buy it. Chronostasis is actually pretty interesting. I thought he was like I said this guy was the only Yakuza I found interesting, but I forget why exactly, but I was interested in this guy. Um, maybe I'll bump up Overhaul to a D. Um, this whole arc, like you can just tell, like this whole arc, I just with Mirio, this girl, and Overhaul, I just didn't think much of. I guess it was sort of interesting, so I'll leave him there. Ashido, I don't find interesting. All for One is all right. I feel like they needed to do more some things or something. I don't know. He's all right. Um, Deku, they failed. Same thing as Kurogiri, or not Kurogiri, Shigaraki. They just failed to characterize Deku over and over. Um, and I'm just not interested in him. I'm not interested in what happens to him. Um, Nobody cares about this girl. Um, this guy's all right too. He's kind of interesting. Yeah, he's pretty unique actually. I would put him as C tier. Suyu, Suyu, I really like just as a character, like her sort of like worldview. That's a weird way to put it. Like I like how she's like super literal or like observant or something sometimes, and like super mature kind of. But they like also tried to characterize her, and I just not interested in the characterization. I'm interested as her like as a character, in her as a character, but not really in the characterization. So I'll leave her at C tier for now. But like she's like wavering down to D tier because of what they're sort of like trying to how they're sort of trying to like give her an arc. I don't buy her arc. Yaoyorozu is another character that I think they succeeded in characterizing, and that I am interested in, and I do want to hear more about. I really like the whole thing where she's like insecure, or she has like insecurities, despite her being like the super like top student or whatever. Like that seems like a very like interesting idea to me in development. Um, and so like I'll put her here despite her being like kind of like fan service. Um, I am actually like interested in her. And then nobody cares about these guys, so that's the whole list. As you can see, a lot of stuff condensed down here because my biggest qualm with the show is just like they have such interesting things with Bakugo, with these League of Villains characters, with a lot of the teachers, with Uraraka, with Shoji, with Togeami. But when you like try to focus on these characters, it just detracts from the really interesting stuff and the stuff that's unique, right? Um, and so yeah, like a lot of these characters are close to moving down. Suyu's close to moving down. Tenya could honestly be D tier. You're really struggling here, man. Um, but yeah, I mean, I could go on and on. I really I like this show or manga, but it's really disappointing in some regards. They should focus on what I've got up here.